Everyone, yes, this is yet another video, a quick one about BadAssMacros. So it's a tool that I found on GitHub that enables us to create macros that can actually bypass antivirus, and it's a quick tool, and I'll do a quick demonstration. So I'll go straight into it. So the tool itself, you can find it on this link. This is the GitHub infosec rabbit BadAssMacros. You actually don't find the exe here, but you can actually compile it using Visual Studio. You've got the instructions there. It's a bit of a painful process, but I've got the exe already, so I'll put a link on the description as well in case you want to try out with the exe that I've compiled. But the instructions to compile are in this GitHub repo. So that is it there. I'll put the link in the description. So I'll go to where I've got the folder in my Windows host, which is, this is where I've got it. I've got the BadAssMacros here, and if I go into the folder, into bin, then you've got x86 and x64. So I'll go with the x86 because we're using Office. So release, and if you go in here, and then you've got the exe here as well. Again, as I mentioned, that you have to compile this from the source code, which is in the GitHub repo. So if I type in cmd here, I'll go to the command prompt, which is here. Now, before we actually run this, we need to create the payload. So I'll open up my Kali, and we'll use MS Venom. So I'll go into my this is the normal folder that I work. So if I use MS Venom. So I already did it here, but I'll just go through it again. Not this one. So we're using this MS Venom. So my machine is 56.100, and we're going to use it on port 443, and we're using Metapreter x86. Otherwise, we'd be having x64 here for a 64-bit, and it's a raw payload, and then we output it to shell.bin. So if I do that, and if I do a cat shell.bin, that is the payload there. So raw payload. So if I so what I do, I'll copy this to our Windows machine. So I'll go to tuner, I'll copy this shell, copy it here, and I will copy it to the folder where we've got our BadAssMacro exe. So I'll paste it here, and then if I go to the command prompt where we had this file, so if I do an ls here, sorry, if I do a dir, we'll see the shell.bin is here. So the command to actually generate the what we're going to put on our macro is just, I'll do this, I'll paste the command here. So this is the command there. So you got, oh no, so you go this BadAssMacro, so BadAssMacro minus I, and then you put the shell.bin, the raw payload that we put in there from MS Venom, and then the output is gonna be, it's gonna be a doc. So you can put Excel or doc. So doc here minus p, no, minus s indirect, minus output, any name. So we call it maybe what do you call it here, lab.vba or .txt. You can give it anything. So that's indirect. So this is typo here. So this is doc, and there it is. It's created a file called lab.txt. And if we open this lab.txt using Word, this one here, using Notepad, that is it there. That is what we're gonna put. That is the payload that we're gonna put in our macro. I'll just put in the so we'll open our Word. So we'll open Word. It's taking a while to open. All right, we'll open blank document, and then we'll type in, say that this is the financial statement, something just so you can see anything. I'm just simulating a document. So if we go to view, if you go to macros, view macros, and in here we will choose the document. At this stage we haven't given it a name. We'll call this my macro. You can give it any name. Create. And then all we need to do is copy the context of that txt file here. So we do a Control A, Control C to copy, and then just paste everything here, Control V, and just save it. And so we'll just put it on the desktop, and we'll call it financials, and we save it as a Word macro enabled document, docm. So save that here and close this. It's saving. Close that and close that and close that. So the file is here in our desktop. We've called it financials.doc. Let's try and see whether we can whether virus total detects it. So if we go to virus total scan, basically scanning this to see whether it can detect that it's got a virus. The less the number of detection, the better. So so we'll choose our file here to upload, and we'll go to financials. So you see that even though it's detected it as 25/65, there's quite a number of antivirus that cannot detect it. And these are the ones that you've got here, Avast and all this here, Symantec, which means it's still quite, you see Google said it's highly suspicious. So even though it's been detected by some of them, it's actually been missed by some of the good antivirus as well. Anyway, that was just a quick demonstration of that. So what we do now is we go to we will copy that document, this one, copy it, and we will take it to our Kali. So if we go here, I'll clear this. I'll actually just paste it here. So if I paste that here, which is this financial.doc here, so I'll close this, clear, and if I do an ls, the document is here. So what we're going to try and do is simulate sending this as email to someone, and we've got our email Outlook set up here. I'll close this. I'll open. All right, but I'll split the screen here because this is where I'm going to create our Metapreter listener as well. So if I split this horizontally and I do a sudo msf console, so I'm setting up a Metapreter listener on port 443, interface Ethernet 1. So I've got our Outlook set up here. I've set up our Metapreter listener, and I'm gonna, this is where we have the C254 port. This is where we have the document, so I'll use send mail to simulate sending an email, and I'll call this financials. So I'll do that, and we should see the email pop up here on the right hand screen. Sent successfully, should come up here. So simulating the, so the email has come here, please accept. So if we open on that email, so just opening up the email. So that is the email here, and then we'll simulate the user clicking on this financials dot, and we should see that it should pop up with a shell on this other side, a session. So if we open that, open, ideally we should see there you go, you see that action there, sending stage. And if we do enter, we do a sessions, we can see that we've got this particular one, sessions 3. This is the one that we just got here, John. Yeah, so I'll just expand this screen here. I'll do a sessions as well. So this is the one that we've got. This is the one that we just popped right now from this machine, and it's the one that, these ones were here before, but this 3 here is the one that we've just got. And if I go into that sessions, shell, who am I, and I'll just do a quick who am I on this other one here, just to confirm that it's the one, just to prove it to you that it's the one. So if I do cmd, and who am I, you can see John.snow. So this one, I was just simulating a user. We've had a RDP just to simulate a user, so you can see that we've popped a shell using a macro, and that's pretty much it. That's a quick demonstration on BadAssMacros. Very useful. Give it a go. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'll put the exe in the description. You don't have to use it if you're scared to use it, but feel free to use it. It should be safe, no issues. And let me know if you need anything else in the comment section. Thank you. Thanks, guys.